So the United States now has to try to starve Iran out. And they're going to do that by blockading the Straits of Hormuz to all shipping in and out of Iranian ports.
So Bill O'Reilly just laid out Trump's most dangerous foreign policy gambit, a complete naval blockade of Iran through the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow waterway carries 21% of global petroleum liquids, making it the world's most critical oil choke point. One miscalculation here could trigger World War III.
If you're a Saudi ship or Emirates, you can go through. But if you are attached to Iran, dropping things off or picking things up, you cannot. And the U.S. Navy will enforce that, and I have the utmost confidence that the Navy will.
This selective enforcement is military genius. The U.S. avoids a global oil crisis by allowing Saudi and UAE vessels through while starving Iran specifically. It's surgical economic warfare, hitting Tehran's $50 billion annual import dependency without crashing the world economy that relies on Gulf oil exports.
And that means that all commerce inside Iran will stop. And people have to eat. So that's the strategy now. Will it bring the mullahs to their knees? Nobody knows that. You can watch stupid cable all day long and they'll speculate, but nobody can possibly know.
History proves blockades work when executed properly. Japan surrendered in 1945 partly due to naval strangulation cutting off food imports. Iraq's economy collapsed under 1990 sanctions. Iran imports 40% of its food and nearly all manufactured goods. This strategy targets their exact vulnerability.
A negative to this is the UK, and that's Keir Starmer. The Prime Minister says, we're not going to help. And that means that none of the other NATO countries will help either. And they could with the blockade, all right? But they won't. Boy, oh boy, that's really a negative for the world when the whole continent of Europe sits it out.
NATO Article 5 only covers defensive operations, not offensive blockades like this. Britain's refusal is catastrophic. The Royal Navy has 76 vessels versus America's 470. Without British naval expertise and European logistics support, Trump's forcing the U.S. military to go it essentially alone.
There's a reason they don't like Israel. Nobody likes Israel. And they don't like Trump. That's it. If another president were there, they'd have maybe a little. But with the Greenland thing and all that, this is personal now. It's not good. And there's nothing Donald Trump can do about it at this point.
Trump's 2019 comments about purchasing Greenland from Denmark created lasting European resentment. Combined with his repeated NATO funding criticisms and tariff threats, personal animosity is now overriding strategic alliance interests. European leaders are choosing domestic politics over containing Iran's nuclear program.
Now, other countries, like aforementioned Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states, will help. And that'll be a new alliance there. But it is a conundrum.
Saudi Arabia operates 175 combat aircraft, and the UAE has advanced missile defense systems. These Gulf monarchies see Iranian hegemony as an existential threat to their Sunni rule. This represents a fundamental realignment, America partnering with Arab autocrats, while democratic Europe sits on the sidelines.
Again, the mullahs like this. This is good for the jihad. We're powerful. We're going to do what we want. That United States isn't going to show us anything or tell us what to do. That's the mentality here. It's not like we want to make a deal. They don't want to make a deal. They're like Putin in Ukraine. It's almost exactly the same mentality. Now, maybe they will have to once they're starving, but I don't know.
The Tehran regime has survived 47 years by weaponizing external pressure into internal legitimacy. Like Putin using NATO expansion to justify Ukraine invasion, Iranian mullahs frame American aggression as proof of their righteous resistance. Economic desperation historically breaks this cycle, but ideology runs deep.
This morning, the Dow opened 184 points down. It recovered in the afternoon. Oil is up to about $104 a barrel. That's up 60% from a year ago. So everybody's suffering. Higher prices, we'll tell you about that in Smart Life. It's just a reality. And a lot of Americans don't like it. And some of them will vote against Trump because of the higher prices in the midterms. The president has to know that.
Jimmy Carter lost re-election in 1980 when gas prices and the Iran hostage crisis tanked his approval ratings. Every 10-cent gas increase correlates with a 2-point drop in presidential approval. Trump's gambling his 2026 midterm chances on Iranian capitulation before American voters punish him economically.
You may remember at the beginning of all this, I said that this was the biggest gamble of the Trump presidency. And it obviously is. Could go either way.
This dwarfs Trump's previous foreign policy risks. The North Korea summit, moving the Israeli embassy, even the Soleimani assassination. Those had escape routes. This blockade creates a binary outcome. Either Iran surrenders completely or Trump faces the biggest foreign policy disaster since Vietnam.
So summing up, President can't pull back on this now. He's got to carry it through. So there can't be any mullahs get to keep their uranium or they get any participation in Straits of Hormuz. That can't happen. With Trump's presidency, be destroyed.
Any compromise now signals American weakness to China over Taiwan and Russia over Ukraine. Trump's credibility hinges on total Iranian capitulation. No partial uranium deals, no face-saving measures. Half victories here become full defeats when Beijing and Moscow test American resolve next.
But I just have a feeling that this blockade in Hormuz is really going to energize the Persian people because, boy, oh boy, I think it's rough here, us paying more over there. Woof. And that's the memo.
Iran's economy already contracted 6% last year under existing sanctions. Complete import cutoffs mean food shortages within weeks, medicine shortages within days. The 1979 Iranian Revolution started with bread riots. Economic desperation topples governments faster than military pressure. History's on Trump's side here.